Okay, welcome to lesson 25. We will continue with lists. So let's have a list named x equals 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. So we want to check if one element or any element exists in our list. So we want to check for existence of an element. So in order to check for an existence of an element, you have to use membership operator, which is in. So using this operator, you check if one element exists in a list or not. So let's write check for the existence of an element. So this is the expression, the element that you want to check for its existence, and then membership operator, the name of the sequence. It can be a tuple, a list, string, it doesn't matter. So 30 in X. So we want to check if 30 is in list X. Do we have 30? We do. So what is the output? Or what is the result? True. Now let's say 100 in X. What about this one? Do we have number 100? No, we don't. So the answer is false. So to have something decent, you can use this expression with if. Like if 30 in X, so if this is true, let's print yes, or do something else. So we have the opposite of membership operator. So this time you want to check if one element does not exist in the list. So we use not in. So let's say we have 200 not in X. Yes, we don't have number 200. So the result of this expression is true. Now let's check for 50. 50 not in X. So is it true? Of course not, because we have number 50 in the list. So the answer is false. So again, if you want to have a decent expression, you can use this one using this one with if. So you can say if 200 not in X. So if this one is true, let's say x.append. So I'm sure you all know about append if you want to add one element to the end of the list. X.append 200. So 200 not in X. Yes, this is true. We don't have number 200 in the list. Do something. What is the action? We want to add 200 to the end of the list using append. And that's all. So what if we have a sequence of characters or letters? Or let's say, what if we have a string? So let's say S equals let's say truck. So if T, be careful, you have to write it inside single quotes or double quotes. If T in S, if this one is true, let's print checked. So do we have letter T? Yes, we do have letter T in our string. So this one is true. So we can print checked. Now what about this one? If T in S, print checked. What about this one? This is false because we don't have lowercase t, we have capital T. So this one is false. So our condition is false, we don't do anything here. Let's have one more example. If T, not T, let's say, if C, this is lowercase c, if C in S, so print hi. Do we have lowercase c? We do. So this expression is true. We print hi. Now the last one, if capital A, not in S, print no. So you can do something else. Instead of printing something, so A, capital A, not in S. Yes, it's true. We don't have capital A in our string, so this one is true. So we can print no. Now let's talk about list concatenation. So it is possible to combine two lists or more than two lists. Now let's have two lists, x equals 20 minus 5, 10, 1. So here we have a list with 4 elements, y equals 1, 2, 3. And list y with 3 elements. So I want to have a list with all of these elements. So I want to have all of these elements from x, from y. So you can have another variable, let's call it z, equals x plus y. So using this operator here, addition, you can combine two lists or more than two lists. So you can continue like this, x plus y plus, let's say, w plus t, and so on. And you'll get one big list. So let me write it here. So you can concatenate two lists. Now what if I print z? So what will happen? You will get a list with all of these elements here. So 20 minus 5, 10, 1. Again, we have 1, 2, 3. So this is our result. Now, what about strings? Is it possible to concatenate two strings? Yes, you can. Let's have S1 equals yellow and S2 equals orange. So I want to combine these two strings, S1 and S2. So I can say S3 equals S1 plus S2. Now you have, let me delete space here, so you have yellow, orange. So what if you want to have space in between? Is it possible? Yes. Space is also a string. So be careful. So you can say S3 equals S1 plus. So we have the first string and then one blank space. Again, this is string plus S2. So we will get yellow space orange. So here's the result, yellow space orange. I think I've mentioned about min, max, and some methods. So to get the minimum element, to get the maximum element, to get the sum of all elements in a sequence. So a list is also a sequence. So x equals -5, 2, 3, 1. So this is our list. Now I want to apply this method to our list. So you just say min and then the name of the list, x. So it gives you the minimum value or the minimum element in a list. What is the minimum element in a list? -5. So it returns -5. And max does the opposite. Max, the name of the list, x here, the maximum element here, which is 3. And the last one, sum, the name of the list, x. So -5 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1. So the answer is 1. So using these methods, we can find the minimum value, the maximum value, and the sum of all elements. So a quick note for you. So min and max work with strings, but sum doesn't work with strings. So be careful. So before finishing the lesson, let's have a tuple with 3 elements. So this is also a sequence of elements. Now you can apply those methods, sum, max, min. So be careful, you cannot change a tuple. You can't modify, you can't update any element because tuples are immutable. So it means you cannot change them. So what is the sum of these elements? 1 plus 2 plus 3, 6. The maximum is 3 and the minimum is 1. And of course, you can use these elements, these methods, inside print function. For example, you can say sum of t inside print function, and the output is 6. Or you can assign this function, this method, to a variable. You can say total equals sum of t. Because the final answer is a number, so basically you're assigning a number to a variable. So it is possible to use this expression. So let's finish the lesson here. So in the next lesson, we will start talking about for loops. So as usual, take care and bye-bye.